Hello, I am in Portland, Maine, and I'm doing a Freedom Trail tour. And the Freedom Trail is a project where there are 13 markers around the city of Portland that signify very important places where the Underground Railroad movement of free slaves from the South happened. A lot of people don't know that Portland was very significant in the Underground Railroad movement. When there were slaves in the South, there were black Mainers in the North that were free blacks. They were business owners. They were mariners. They worked on the boat, and they had families, and they were free slaves. And so they decided to participate in the anti-slavery movement to help hide and free slaves who ran away from the South. And so there's 13 different places around the city, barbershops that help them change their face, their attire, their look, their appearance. Secondhand clothing stores that gave them clothes to put on them because they had to change everything that they left with because the owner would put a bounty on them and a bounty hunter would be looking for them. The most central part of the underground movement in Portland was the Abyssinian Meeting House behind me. This is where the African-American runaway slaves would be whisked to and hidden until they were cleared to get on the boat at the port and taken to Canada or England, most likely Canada, because Canada is very close to Maine. The Abyssinian Meeting place is also a church. It was purchased by Reuben Ruby. He was the first African-American owner of a magazine called Freedom Journal. And he was a black man, he was a free slave. He had his own hack place. I just did a video of it. There's a marker right there dedicated to him. He purchased this land and he made it an educational place where people can learn, black people can learn how to get a job, how to survive, how to become part of society. And he also dedicated his meeting house for slaves that ran away from the South and came here to hide. They would give them food, clothing, take care of them, and they would find sympathetic white people who would help them go to Canada, mainly captains on the boats at the wharf, white people who were against slavery. So this place behind me right here plays a central part of the Underground Railroad movement. In 1821, it was purchased, and in 1841, they got a pastor who became the most well-known African-American in the States at the time. His name was Amos Freeman. He created a school there also. So this is the place where it all happened, right behind me. It's being restored so that black people and anybody who's interested can come and learn about the history of how Maine played a central part in the Underground Railroad movement for slaves and to end slavery. So come along with me as I visit 12 other markers made up of secondhand stores, clothing. There's another church called Mariners Church. They're within 2-mile walking radius of the city. And an artist last year, his name is Daniel, placed big, beautiful markers so you can see the history of each place and how it helped free slaves.